She stood before the mirror, brushing on that carefully practiced smile, the one reserved for strangers who didn't know the real her. I adjusted my tie, the cheap polyester clinging awkwardly around my neck. Her eyes flicked to it like it was something foul. "Don't come to the gala," she said, eyes still fixed ahead. "Why not?" I asked. "I told everyone you're a lawyer," she replied, voice cold and flat. "You did what?" Her tone sharpened like broken glass. "I couldn't exactly say you're a garbage collector." I opened my mouth, but she cut me off. "Never mind. I'll just tell them you're not feeling well. Just stay away." The tightness in my chest wasn't from the words themselves, but from how effortlessly they left her lips, as if they'd always been true. I left quietly, walked out of the house, out of the fiction, away from the woman I thought I loved. But it wasn't over for me. We'd met 7 years earlier. She was temping at a real estate office. I just lost my job with a landscaping crew and picked up a nighttime sanitation route to make rent. She liked my work ethic. Or maybe she just liked that I worked that hard for her. She moved up quickly, sharp, prettier than she let on. She started running with a flashier crowd, laughed differently, dressed like someone else, raised her standards like stepping onto a higher rung. At first, I thought she was just evolving, stressed, focused, chasing goals. I didn't realize she was evolving away from me. It was in the subtle things. Tilting her phone screen when I entered the room. Leaving the house polished and glam, returning with her face bare and drained. The tiny recoil when I reached for her hand in public. One night, I heard her talking quietly on the phone. "No, he's not coming. He's complicated." She had no idea I stood just beyond the doorframe, frozen in place. The next morning, I brewed her favorite coffee just like always. She didn't even acknowledge it. That's when I stopped trying to talk. I didn't ask where she was going. I didn't wonder who was on the other end of her messages. I gave her space to maintain the illusion, and I watched. By day, I kept up the usual chores. By night, I taught myself how to clean in other ways, digitally. I accessed files, tracked passwords, sifted through deleted messages. I wasn't fueled by anger. I approached it like a case study. She was sleeping with her boss, David Wexler. Married. CEO. The kind of man who wears guilt like an aftershave and calls his secretary babe with a wink. Wexler had a side habit of laundering company funds for luxury getaways, private jets masked as client expenses. Her name was attached to more than a few. They thought they were being clever. But her Instagram told a different story. Backgrounds, dates, designer tags, they all lined up. I matched the visuals to time-stamped company reports. I didn't call her out. I compiled evidence. The gala was the firm's crown event. Media, investors, potential clients, every face mattered. I reserved a hotel room just across the street and watched her step into the ballroom from my vantage point by the window. She looked every bit the queen, elegant, polished, but empty inside. At 8:07 p.m., I sent out the dossier. Board members, HR, select journalists, and most pointedly, Wexler's wife. It contained proof of fraud, infidelity, and abuse of authority. Along with it, I slipped in an anonymous message. Your star employee helped him pull it off. Then, I powered my phone down. When I switched it back on at midnight, it was vibrating nonstop. 32 missed calls. 16 voicemails. My wife, her colleagues, her boss, his wife, everyone trying to reach me. I played one message. Her voice trembled with fear. "Please call me. I don't know what's happening. They've found the emails." David's wife showed up. "He's yelling. Please." I hadn't intended to humiliate her, to expose her lies, or to tarnish her image in the pursuit of a better title. I watched the fallout unfold across social media. By 2 a.m., news outlets were all over the story. Corporate scandal, CEO misconduct exposed at the annual gala. She returned home just before dawn. Makeup smeared, heels dangling from her hand. I was sitting on the couch. She looked at me as if I were a stranger. "You did this?" she whispered. I stayed silent, holding her gaze. I let her sit in the quiet I'd endured for months. She was the first to break. I was scared. "You don't get it. Now they respect me." I needed to be someone they admired. I stood and walked past her into the kitchen. "Was I ever enough?" I asked. No answer came. That silence spoke volumes. She lost her job that same week. Wexler resigned. His wife filed for divorce. Investors pulled back. Her name became synonymous with disgrace. Me. I got a promotion. City sanitation supervisor. Managing 38 employees. Benefits, pension, respect. Not bad for a garbage collector. She tried to apologize later, said she missed me, that maybe we could start over. But I don't deal in recycled trash. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, exact. Sometimes the strongest statement is the one left unspoken. And the most powerful place to be is precisely where they told you to stay away.